Hello, everyone. Torrin here with another video, and today we are joined by the CEO of PWF. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Our amazing shows have been bringing me lots of money and ratings, and followers as of recent. So thank you all very much for having me. Thank you for having me, Torrin. I appreciate it. Um, but yeah, it's been going absolutely great, especially with our newest CEO, newest GM.
Yeah, I've been paying close attention with Carnage and the new GM. Curious to see what he was going to do. And let me tell you what, so far he hasn't disappointed. He's been holding up pretty good to his word.
Definitely. And after what the CEO brought to the table for him last week, I'm scared of the match he put that with. That's why we have the match card here. But
Yep, because today,
should be interesting.
today, ladies and gentlemen, me, Torin, and the PWF CEO team up for this collaboration. We are going to be bringing you the breakdown and predictions to this weekend's, I should say, Slaughter Sunday pay per view. So, what's the first match that we are going to be looking at for this?
The first match, now this is in no particular order, so I don't want people to think that, oh, this is going to be the first match of the card. But the first match
Okay.
we will be voting on who we think will win, is British Bulldog versus Bruno Sammartino versus Sergeant Slaughter versus the Boogeyman versus Cameron Grimes versus King Alaric in a six-man elimination to determine the number one contender for the Discord title after Slaughter Sunday.
Yeah, first off, I was interested when you had started it off with those two, British Bulldog and Bruno. And then Sergeant Slaughter came in. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And then Boogeyman, what? It just kept adding on more and more. And oh, good Lord.
So, one thing as the CEO, I want to point out King Alaric's been on fire.
Absolutely. We saw that attack after switching over from that kind of Joker-ish gimmick that he had with laughter and coming out more as himself with after having won King of the Ring. So I definitely feel like he's much more in his own zone. We definitely saw that at the end of last Carnage when he just literally came out after the match, didn't care who won, who lost, just wrecked both of them.
Sent a huge message to the locker room, and then just today actually, he was in a tag with the Crazy Kitten and still destroy. Like
Yeah,
the just there bad circumstances. The match went long, but he at the amount of times he put Dominic down with another kick was insane. And then we have
absolutely.
Cameron Grimes and Boogeyman, which we've seen a couple of matches from them. Um,
Yeah.
I know we had a recent Cameron Grimes match, but I don't remember who it was against. Can you do you
Uh,
happen to remember off the top of your head? Because I
I
do not.
not immediately off the top of my head, but I do remember what you're talking about.
Those two have been relatively active. And the reason why I'm making three categories
Yeah.
in my head. King Alaric's been destroying.
Yes.
Boogeyman and Cameron Grimes have been relatively active, especially recently. But British Bulldog, Sergeant Slaughter, and especially Bruno Sammartino, I don't even know if we've seen a match from Bruno, at
I
least on
don't
PWF.
Yeah, completely fair. He very well could be the favorite going into this match.
Mm-hmm.
King Alaric has been on an absolutely dominant streak after having come out from the laughter bit and going ahead and embracing more of himself, really, with this King of the Ring win. Uh, but that being said, if memory serves right, I think Bruno Sammartino ended up holding the WWF title, uh, which, for clarification, this is far enough back in WWF that this was not a scripted thing.
Hmm.
Um, I want to say Bruno held the title for like almost 7 consecutive years.
Yeah, a long time.
That's like, yeah, we have Roman as of right now, who's been holding the title for a very fair amount of time, already over 3 years.
The
But there's
first one he
nobody.
held for 2,803 days.
Yeah, like that. You kind of end up coming into just about any match as the favorite when that happens.
That is absolutely insane. So, my question for you then, Torn, is that your choice for this match?
It's not. Um, I think my choice is going to surprise you a little bit.
Really?
So I want to hear from you first. I'm curious who you think has the edge because this is a 6 man match
That is the hardest choice, and it's elimination.
and it's
So anybody
elimination.
could get eliminated early. So people aren't going to be breaking up the pins. That's
Yeah.
my biggest thought is, oh, they don't have to break up a pin. And
Yeah.
if you don't have to break up a pin, coming off as the matches he's been coming off, winning King of the Ring, he's proven that he can take on multiple matches and multiple people at once. It has to go to King Alaric, right? It only makes sense. But my
Uh,
question is he's still too beat up from King of the Ring?
and here's the thing is I very much agree with that. I can agree with it. If it wasn't for this little surprise pick though, um I probably would agree with you and go King Alaric. But I have a bit of a surprise. I'm going to root for the underdog in this match. I'm going to go with Boogeyman.
Boogeyman. Okay. I'm curious on your thoughts on that.
Okay, so think of it like this, right? We have
Mm-hmm.
British Bulldog, Bruno Sammartino, Sergeant Slaughter. Let's start with these three. There's been people that they've went up against that are kind of maybe Undertaker-esque, more of the intimidation factor, little bit of fear and mind games type deal with them. But there's nothing that they've even come close to looking at like the Boogeyman.
No.
The Boogeyman is another level that can just screw with your psyche.
Heck, he even messed with Kane when he first came out.
Yep.
Like,
And
and Kane's a messed up dude. If you
yeah,
get into Kane's skin, I'm just saying.
yeah, exactly. So right there, I already have those three off of the board. They may go a long time in the match, yes, but they're going to have to block out that Boogeyman is there. And
Definitely.
if any of the competitors are able to do that, they could very easily turn around and win it. But I just think the mind game of it is going to be too much for most of the competitors.
Now, what about Cameron Grimes and King Alaric then? Do you think that do you think it won't affect them as much, or do you think
I
they'll be too focused on the others?
so I think Cameron Grimes one will be a little affected by it, but maybe just kind of push it off to the side because he is from WWE. Things are a lot more gimmicked, especially with the recent WWE. So he may not be too messed up in the mind and everything with it. I just don't think he has the ability. Should it come down to Boogeyman and Cameron Grimes, I don't see him having the ability to beat Boogeyman. King Alaric, though, if anybody can block that out and anybody is able to go ahead and beat Boogeyman in that final 1v1, without a doubt, it's King Alaric. We saw
Yeah.
we saw the Batman Who Laughs come to life before King of the Ring. So if anybody can block this out, it's him. It has to be him.
Does that make him the target of the match, though? That's my question. Will everybody be
I
targeting him coming off that King of the Ring win?
off of the King of the Ring win, off of the dominance that he had before and after, he has to be the target. And that's why I say Boogeyman. I think he is going to be the target. He's going to be probably one of the first three, if not one of the first two, eliminated.
He just has that big target on his back, unfortunately. But if he can pull it off, man, he's got some big things coming.
Yeah, if he can pull this off, it's going to be absolutely insane to see what he does next. Because I'm sorry, at that point he's went into a 6-man match and won. He went into King of the Ring and won. Everything prior to the King of the Ring, more likely than not, he just stepped in the ring and won. Who
Yeah,
can stop him at that point?
no one. I mean, not very many. And
Exactly.
in
Yeah.
fact, he won against a guy who held the title for over 2K days.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
Almost 3K, really. Because, I
Yeah,
mean, it was like, what, 2,800 and something that you had said, I
yeah.
believe?
Like
So, yeah, almost 3,000.
you can keep that title. I'm good.
Exactly.